Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Jahlial, and today I wanted to talk about Mars in Sagittarius because tomorrow, November 23rd, perfects its square with the Karma nodes, the lunar nodes, which is the same. And we have been feeling this since days ago. And in fact, I commented about this in the video of the past Sunday. First of all, I wanted to remind you that lunar nodes are these mathematical points. The North Node at this moment is in Pisces until July of 2026, and it is the point of integration of an energy that is evolutionary but new. This means that it is something that we haven't inhabited before in our path, in our personal path, because there are learnings that we are transiting right now that for other people are things that are integrated or backwards. So this South Node that at this point is in Virgo, they are always given in opposite signs. It is the energy that we need to clean, familiar patterns that lead us to express, in this case, the energy of Virgo in shadow. So we have to learn to elevate them, not annulling the South Node. This means circulate its energy in a conscious way so we can move forward into this spiritual growth. And this is going to have different manifestations for each one of us according to the things that we need to integrate. So the nodes are very related with karmic lessons and the evolutionary purpose of the soul in this life. We are going to have more activations in this month of Sagittarius. Also, Saturn is going to awaken from its retrogradation in a few days. We are already feeling that. We are going to have squares with Saturn. So, this is a planet of mastery and also learnings that are leading us to develop maturity, a spiritual maturity. Saturn in Pisces has its particularities and it is saying goodbye to this sign. So we're going to talk about that later, but there are important cycles that we have to close in order for new doors of things that we really want to build can be opened. And how we are going to experiment that closure in this end of 2025 depends on how much responsibility we are willing to assume and integration of healthy boundaries. So, coming back to Mars in Sagittarius, Mars is the direction that we are taking, the actions that we assume going towards the things that we desire. But we know that as part of the human experience, not always actions are taken in coherence with what we genuinely desire. Sometimes they are done from what we think from a conditioning that we want. Other times we can act from fear and we can assume directions that are familiar but are not leading us to grow. And Mars in a square with nodes is proposing like these crossroads choices of continuing to perpetuate that pattern that is not contributing or moving forward towards the new. And the new could imply letting go of, surrender to the process, even if we feel uncertainty, even if we don't have rational information of how it is going to be developed. This is very linked with North Node in Pisces. It is about intuitive decisions, not because they are intuitive, they are easy. I am referring that many times people recognize what is loving or evolutionary in their paths, but they have difficulties to let go of what we need to let go of. Stop analyzing or over analyzing things from an obsolete logic, which is the South Node in Virgo. Also, the energy of Virgo in shadow could be like using the mind to look for reasons, excuses, details to justify staying in spaces that are not making us feel good anymore. And these energies could impact the health, mental and physical health, because Pisces is the energy, Virgo is the planet of matter, of earth. It is the body. And when we aren't able to flow, certain energies in our life, in our emotional, physical, mental field, they are being blocked. That has an impact on our physical body. Well, coming back to Mars in Sagittarius, in its more luminous expression, what Mars in here wants is to give big steps. It is choosing expansive paths, transiting experiences that can connect us with joy, with the perception of abundance, with a higher sense, moving forward over purposes of the soul and learning more of those paths. In this tension, Mars in Sagittarius could also show its shadows, like limited beliefs. For example, I cannot do that project because I don't know enough. from a limited belief. Again, there are, situations in which people need to develop certain things in order to approach projects. But the South Node in Virgo is very linked with, I am lacking this is not in the ideal of perfection, so I cannot go towards what I want, or beliefs kind of in that area people are not able to expand because that is very difficult. These are more conditionings linked with family, culture, society. But when something responds to the purpose of the soul, the path actually is being opened. And when we are approaching something that is not, even if there are thousands of people that are successful in that area, or that gives the mask, or the, I don't know the word right now in English, but appears to have a status, or to give certain status, that won't work, or it is not going to bring inner plenitude, because it is simply not something that we came here to do. And we can carry on a whole life, following a path that is imposed by others, imposed with quotation marks, because at the moment that we realize that we can question everything, and that not everything that other people is saying that works for them actually works for us, it is a decision. So we can sustain a path like that the whole incarnation, but it is also going to be a life with lack of sense, disconnected from our soul. And connecting with the sense of the soul requires to move out from known spaces every time that is necessary, in an infinite way. There is no end. So other perspective of Mars in Sagittarius in a square to the nodes is to face with a truth. In certain situations could be because people are making this renouncement to their inner coherence, to help other people, to sustain relationships in a distortion of love. It is a love that is not well understood. Like, I have to put myself, on the side. I have to give everything, even if this is not making me feel good, for the others. That actually unconsciously is for oneself. It is because there are people that don't want to be alone, or want to obtain external validation. Again, it's an unconscious pattern. But if the help that you are offering is demanding you, to drain yourself mentally, emotionally, or physically, and the other person, it is not making any changes, it is not having any improvement, and even it is not giving value to the help that you are giving, those are signals that is being done through these conditioned patterns. And many times this could be linked with, I have to do this because this is what good people do, or I cannot say no to this thing because I'm going to be a bad person. And these kind of things are generating this great anger too, because Mars is our aggressiveness. When aggressiveness is well channeled, it is the force through which we are moving forward. But when it is not, the anger is giving us the warning, because we are annulling our inner voice to sustain the pattern. Also, it could be situations where people are renouncing to that inner order, where mental barriers are being created that prevent us from connecting with love. And people sustain relationships with the expectation that the other is going to change for them, that if they continue to invest energy in a sustained way, the other finally is going to act as they are expecting. The shadow of Mars in Sagittarius in here, well, today I'm talking like this, is I want this to work. I want to obtain the growth through this way because I want to believe that this brings a benefit. There is an attachment to a vision that, far away from representing truth, is a denial of reality. And again, anger is going to show where it is being blindly insisting, and the person cannot continue to do that. At last, I just wanted to add that not for everyone. This is about a specific decision. Not everyone has to make a decision, but perhaps they have the challenge to transcend this posture of over-focusing in everything that they don't like about the path that they have to experiment right now. It is about transcending the focus in everything what is wrong, in the things that they lack, to learn to create discernment, organization, and sustained focus, which is Virgo in its light, with the habits, experiences, and projects that they know they are evolutionary, even if they don't have certainties of the forms that life is going to take in the future. It is about surrendering to what life has to show us right now and trusting in the tiny inner certainties, because we can intuitively feel that certain steps that we are giving in coherence with us are approaching to the most genuine desires of the heart. What happens it is that many times there is confusion, limited perceptions are making people believe that they want certain things, but they want them from the fear of losing, of changing, of moving forward to different experiences. So when we don't establish an order and healthy boundaries in certain areas of life, that energy is going to turn into chaos in those same areas or in other ones, because we are positioning our actions in the incorrect places for our personal growth. Thank you, everyone. See you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.